Join us for our day in Skagway, Alaska.
On our Disney cruise. Good morning. We have arrived in Skagway. We are supposed to have our dog sledding excursion. So far it's on. I'm getting a little bit nervous about the weather because it's getting pretty cloudy. This excursion can get canceled quite often, so you just have to prepare for that. I'm also very nervous about it. I'm excited for this once in a lifetime experience, but also I am extremely nervous about flying in a helicopter. I mean, with these clouds, it's not helping. It's not helping. Hopefully it'll be a great day and we'll take you along with us. Change of plans. Our excursion got canceled at the last second. It's very windy, so better safe than sorry. We're gonna explore Skagway. I forgot my microphone, so sorry for the bad audio. We'll explore Skagway and see everything it has to offer. The port at Skagway is just a few steps away from the town. The way the town reveals itself is just stunning. It's hidden a bit behind some trees when you first get off the ship, but it's only about a half-mile walk to the main street where you can find shops and, most importantly, coffee. We stopped at Glacier Coffee House where I ordered a butterbeer latte and it was a 10 out of 10. Skagway is tiny and has a population of about 800 people. There are a lot of little shops that have jewelry and souvenirs. My biggest regret was not buying our Alaskan-themed souvenirs in this town. We found the Skagway Trading Company to have the most affordable and adorable options of sweatshirts and other items. I only hesitated to buy anything because it was our first stop, but the other ports were so much more expensive and not nearly as cute. After we went into most of the stores, a sweet local told us about a playground. It is a little hidden, but it's right off Broadway behind this coffee shop. This was a lifesaver for us, as after 3 days on the ship, our kids were full of energy. The kids loved it, and we definitely enjoyed the views while they played. So we have walked mostly Main Street of Skagway. It is a lot of tourist shops. And so we booked actually a tour when we got here with Southeast Tours. And so we're going to take a bus and go to a wildlife center. And they said they've got some activities there. It's a pretty long day. It's from 10:30 to 4:30. We're going to check that out. It was around $500, I believe, for the four of us. They have other things, but that was kind of the easiest for 2 adults and the 2 kiddos who are 9 and 10. So we'll let you know how it goes and if it's worth the money. Also, we just wanted to say it's not very cold. It's just super windy, so very, very strong wind gusts, but it's not freezing. It's probably in the 50s, but the wind's just making it feel a little bit colder. But it is June, so that's just what the weather is like right now. We chose the Yukon Discovery Tour. Typically, this tour is $179 per person, but the employee was extremely kind and gave us a discount on our kiddos. This is a guided bus tour that takes you through Skagway and the Yukon Territory in British Columbia. Lunch and access to the Wildlife Museum is included in the price. We chose this over the train because it had a lot of stopping points for the kids, and the Wildlife Museum was a big draw for us. Our first stop was the White Pass Summit, located on the Klondike Highway. We were able to get out and take a photo near the iconic Welcome to Alaska sign. The ride is long, but the scenery never got old. Our guide Garrett was amazing and informative the entire time. The only downside is that there is not a bathroom on board, and the only opportunity you have to go to the bathroom before lunch is at an outhouse located in the middle of nowhere. I am not kidding you, an actual outhouse. If you think this tour isn't for you, I will link my blog in the description below of other things to do in Skagway. As we made our way into the Northwest Territories, we stopped to look at some mountain goats and for a photo with the new Yukon sign, which has some bit of controversy due to the unique design.
Shortly after we loaded back on the bus, we had our first bear sighting. We learned that bears love dandelions, so we were very lucky to see this adorable bear grabbing a snack. Our guide was great and safely pulled over for a few minutes so we could observe the bear on the bus. Typically on this tour, you would stop for lunch first, but the weather was so nice that our guide took us to the absolute stunning sight of Emerald Lake first. Again, photos and video will never do Alaska or British Columbia justice. It was truly something straight out of a fairy tale. We finally arrived at the Wild Adventure Museum. This was our least favorite part of our entire experience. We only had an hour here, so we quickly grabbed lunch. Lunch was barbecue chicken, potatoes, and coleslaw. It also included unlimited apple cider donuts. It was really good, and there is a bar inside where you can grab an adult beverage. Because we only had about a half an hour left, we quickly ran to the area where it was advertised that we could see puppies. We did see one dog, but that was it. There was a separate excursion you could purchase to do dog sledding, but I don't know how you would have had the time to do that and eat lunch. So we walked around the petting zoo, and they also had a place where you can mine for gold, but we were told we didn't have enough time. This was the only part that was disappointing. We just didn't get to do a lot here, and we had told the kids that this was the main event. I would assume every tour is different, and because we stopped to see mountain goats and bears, it probably cut into our time a little bit. I would still recommend this tour, but don't count on this being a big highlight for your kids. And definitely wait until Juneau for any excursions with puppies. As we made our way back to Skagway, we quickly stopped at the Carcross Desert, which really isn't a desert, but it was still very cool. While still in Carcross, we stopped at the Windy Arm Lake near Bove Island for a gorgeous photo. One of my favorite stops was at Lake Chuchai. The kids loved being able to run around and skip rocks in the lake. Also, our fearless leader, Garrett, jumped into the freezing water, which was hilarious. The water is insanely clear and beautiful, and I wish we would have had more time here just to soak it all in. We were greeted with another bear sighting. Garrett even flipped the bus around so we could have a better view of another snacking bear. We loved how he went out of his way to give us the best experience. Which reminds me, please tip your guides if you have a great trip. Our last stop was in Fraser, where you can read a lot about the gold rush, but honestly, Garrett was so full of knowledge about the subject, so you won't need to really read all of the plaques, but it was just so interesting to see the sites of where people traveled on this dangerous journey.
So even though we did not get to do a helicopter tour, the day still was amazing. The Southeast Tours was incredible. Our guide Garrett was incredible. Shout out to Garrett. He was so knowledgeable, made it so fun, stopped and let us look at the bears and the mountain goat and all of that. It was one of the best days. I mean, every day here has been insanely beautiful, but it was so fun. It's actually almost time for dinner, so we're going to get back on the ship and head to Animator's Palate.
The tour will drop you off right at your ship, but I wanted to stop back in town to grab a guide map and a souvenir. So we walked back to the ship, but it really only takes about 5 to 10 minutes at the most. As we arrived back on the Wonder, we were happily greeted with hot cocoa from cast members in the atrium. Dinner at Animator's Palate was an absolute highlight for us. We have dined here on the Dream, but this is a slightly different experience. Crush doesn't swim to your table, but we still loved the theming and the way animation was brought to life all around you. This also is my favorite meal, as it has the pasta dish that I cannot pronounce, so we're going to call it the black truffle perserites as an appetizer and key lime pie as a dessert. If you know how to pronounce that pasta dish, please let me know. I even tried to look it up and I could not find it. After dinner, we randomly ran into Belle, who was so kind and took photos with us. She wasn't doing a standard meet and greet, she was just kind of walking around, so this was a really great bonus photo.
Okay, we had an amazing dinner at Animator's Palate. That's probably one of our favorites. The black truffle pasta is the best. And then we dropped the kids off at the kids club and got a drink at Tiana's. And now we are going to head to D-Lounge for our first Disney trivia because we have not had time to do it. So we're going to go do that.
I wanted to give a quick plug for the Photo Pass. It's expensive, but if you grab it before you sail, it is cheaper. I love it because I don't have to worry about having my phone all the time, and the cheesy photos are my absolute favorite. Trivia is one of our favorite things to do on board. You can find times and places on your DCL app. And due to the amount of Bugs Life questions, Jared picked up his first win. After grabbing the kids from the kids club, we ran into Daisy. She didn't have a line, and we were so happy to see that she was in her special Glacier Day costume again, as she was the only one we didn't get to meet on Glacier Day. We also noticed right above us that Chip and Dale were about to meet, so we ran up there to see the dynamic duo. They were so fun and took so much time with each family and made this experience so special for our kids.
All right, so Skagway, our day at Skagway was fantastic,
over my winner medal.
It ended with a win at trivia. It was
trivia.
Yeah, it was Pixar trivia. Jared's favorite movie, fun fact, is
Bug's Life.
And there were seven questions.
Oh, at least 7 of the 20 questions were Bug's Life.
There were no cars.
No cars, no Incredibles. No, one Brave.
Yeah. This is our first win, so we're very, very proud. Very proud of our first trivia win. I was really there for moral support. I'm not great at trivia. Even though I know most of the answers, I really am terrible with coming up with the answer quickly. So that was a great way to end our evening. And then we ran into more characters after that. And we have met all of Mickey and friends.
Yep.
We've met Mickey, Minnie, Chip, Dale, Goofy, Pluto, Daisy,
Donald.
and Donald. We've knocked them all out on this cruise. Our kids are so happy. And then we randomly ran into Belle tonight. So
Yeah.
we've had a great luck with characters. We've really not waited terribly long. We are going to call it a night. We have another early morning tomorrow. We have a mushers camp, which does not require a helicopter. So hopefully it will go a little bit more smooth. And then we have whale watching. So we have a really, really long, big day tomorrow. And we will take you along to Juneau with us. But thank you for joining. What was your favorite part of today? Not the incredible scenery of Canada.
This is the incredible scenery.
The Emerald Lake Summit.
That was all beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
The wind, though.
Beautiful Yukon and British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah.
It was great on our Alaskan cruise.
Skagway was just the vessel there.
Little guy. Yeah.
All right. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.